Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think will win in the battle between Trigon and Cyttorak, two evil entities with the power of destruction? Trigon is a terrible interdimensional demon in the DC universe who has conquered countless universes and is the father of Raven. He is the embodiment of pure evil, possessing unparalleled magical power. Trigon can manipulate reality, create and destroy universes, control souls, and enslave victims. He is immortal, has cosmic intelligence, and the ability to manipulate human emotion. Sow darkness in the minds of others. At full power, Trigon can easily overwhelm members of the Justice League. Even Superman and Wonder Woman have difficulty resisting. Cyttorak is a mystical entity in the Marvel Universe, one of the most powerful magical entities. He is the source of the Crimson Gem, which has made Juggernaut invincible. Cyttorak possesses limitless power in his dimension, granting great power to those who worship him. He has been summoned by Doctor Strange and many other sorcerers to use magic, but Cyttorak himself is far superior to the Elder Gods. And before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Trigon's terror lies not only in his sheer power, but also in his terrifying growth. At just 1 year old, he imposed his domination over his home planet, turning all its inhabitants into terrified servants. By the age of 6, he had not only taken control of it, but had completely destroyed it, proving that his evil nature knew no bound. The height of his brutality came at the age of 30, when he obliterated his entire dimension, turning it into a realm of pure darkness and power. Trigon does not hesitate to confront the most powerful individuals. He has fought Superman on multiple occasions and has withstood the mightiest attacks. The Justice League, a gathering of the greatest heroes, has also struggled against him. What is even more terrifying is that even the Monitor, one of the most powerful beings, believes that Trigon is comparable to the Spectre, a being with godlike power. This proves that he is not just a demon lord, but a true force that challenges the universe. Trigon is not simply a demon, but a demon lord who possesses the power to destroy all of reality if he so desires. Born from the crystallization of evil, he has destroyed countless worlds and turned dimensions into his own bloody kingdom. Trigon's presence is always accompanied by horror and despair, because even high-level magical entities have difficulty confronting him. The fact that he can single-handedly invade Earth and is only stopped by the most powerful magic of superheroes shows the extent of his terror. Trigon is not simply a demon, but a force of absolute destruction, an entity that can shake the very pillars of the universe. If he possesses Raven, his daughter, his power will reach unimaginable levels, becoming complete and almost limitless. Trigon remains one of the most terrifying beings the multiverse has ever known. Trigon is not bound by any territory. His power does not depend on whether he stands on his own land or not, and he brings destruction wherever he goes. This is what makes him superior to many other magical entities, including masters like Doctor Strange. Where Strange needs to summon magic from entities like Cyttorak or the Vishanti, Trigon is an endless source of power himself, needing no other source. Trigon's fearsomeness is evident in his exploits. He crushed the Teen Titans like they were nothing but dust. Trigon is not only a demon lord who rules over dimensions, but also an entity that can challenge reality benders. He once blocked MXYZPTLK, a fifth-dimensional entity with the ability to manipulate reality on a multiversal level. This is especially terrifying because MXYZPTLK is far more powerful than Galactus, and Trigon's parity with the Spectre is also a clear indication of his power. The Spectre is the embodiment of divine vengeance, a being who can erase realities and correct the distortions in the multiverse at the behest of the Presence. Even the Presence, the supreme being of the DC universe, the one who is considered the source of all power, has to make a deal with Trigon. This puts Trigon in a completely different position than other demons or lords of hell. If Trigon can exert his influence over beings at the highest levels of the multiverse, what would happen if he decided to expand his dominion even further? Cyttorak is not only a being with boundless magical power, but also has the power to manipulate space at will. He can easily teleport other beings into his dimension Crimson Cosmos, a place completely separate from reality, where he holds absolute power. No one can leave without his permission. Cyttorak is not only a powerful magical entity, but also the source of mystical energies that transcend all limits of space and time. He was once worshipped as a god and ruled the kingdom of Crimson Cosmos, where his power is absolute. The clearest proof of this power is the Cyttorak Ruby, an artifact that can turn anyone who possesses it into a transcendent entity with terrible destructive power, typically Juggernaut. Furthermore, great sorcerers such as Doctor Strange and Baron Mordo have relied on Cyttorak's energy to perform many of his ultimate spells, demonstrating his dominance in the magical realm. Despite his immense power, Cyttorak has never been considered powerful enough to stand against the Council, the supreme beings of the Marvel Universe. With a mere thought, Cyttorak can banish them from the Crimson Cosmos or summon whomever he desires to his domain. One of his most terrifying abilities is his control over the bodies of his hosts. Aspects of Cyttorak can take over the bodies of others, transforming them into instruments of terrible power. His creation of the mini-crimson monstrous creatures imbued with his magic is just one example of his ability to create brutal beings to serve his will. Banished to the Crimson Cosmos, Cyttorak was not weakened, but on the contrary, with a small portion of his power, he created the Crimson Gem, an artifact that can grant unlimited power to anyone who touches it. Those who possess it, typically Juggernaut, not only gain immense power but also become the embodiment of destruction. Cyttorak not only grants power, but also has absolute control over those who receive power from him. If the incarnation of Cyttorak, the one who bears the name Juggernaut, betrays him, Cyttorak can immediately strip that power and give it to another person whose will is more compatible. This proves that he is not simply a god who blesses, but an entity that governs the fate of those who bear his power. Cyttorak is not only the source of Juggernaut's power, but also plays an important role in the magical system. Doctor Strange's spells, including the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak, one of the most powerful confinement spells ever known, are all based on his power. Even legendary martial artists like the immortal Iron Fist have faced him, and Cyttorak is even more dangerous. His aspect can not only imprison Sprite Sister of the Underworld Lord Despair, but is also a veritable destroyer of worlds. Cyttorak once empowered Avatar Ahmed Abdul to the point where he could shake the world to its foundations. The fearsomeness of this power is not limited to Earth, even distant stars tremble at the presence of this avatar. If Cyttorak wanted to, he could imbue Juggernaut with the power of the World War Hulk, turning him into an unstoppable force capable of tearing apart anyone who dared to confront him. Cyttorak? An entity that can create avatars that can shake the universe, imprison the descendants of the Lords of Hell, and grant power to the strongest warriors. Please subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. The confrontation between Trigon and Cyttorak is not only a power struggle between two demonic entities, but also a conflict between limitless ambition and domination. Trigon, who has destroyed countless worlds, always desires to expand his influence, even reaching into realities he has never set foot in. This is an opportunity for him to demonstrate his absolute authority. Cyttorak, a dark god with terrifying power, will not easily let an alien entity invade his territory. Not only is he the guardian of the Crimson Gem, Cyttorak is also the source of unparalleled magical power. Someone like Trigon, with the ambition to devour everything, will certainly be considered a threat that Cyttorak cannot ignore. The battle between two egos will never yield. If Trigon succeeds in absorbing the Crimson Gem, he can reach an unprecedented level of power. But if Cyttorak wins, he will not only secure his domain, but also seal Trigon away forever. The battle between the two evil entities spans countless realities, each becoming a fierce battlefield. The Hell Dimension, Trigon's realm of hellfire and damned souls, will burn fiercely as his demonic power clashes with Cyttorak's pure dark energy. The storms of hellfire swirl, the lava flows boil endlessly, and when the balance is broken, the battle may spill over into the Crimson Cosmos, the realm where Cyttorak rules supreme. This is not only the space that holds those who have dared to challenge his authority, but also the source of the Crimson Gem's power. With each attack, space transforms into twisted mazes, endless abysses, where even the most powerful entities can be imprisoned forever. Every strike of Trigon is the fury of a conqueror, but Cyttorak is not one to be easily overwhelmed. When Cyttorak's power is threatened, those who once relied on his power, such as Doctor Strange, Juggernaut, and even the Dark Wizards, can feel the shockwaves in the flow of magic. Doctor Strange cannot stand idly by as an alien force threatens the balance of the magical world. Cyttorak is not alone in this fight. Dormammu, the Lord of the Dark Dimension, may be an option. As someone who has always harbored ambitions of conquering other dimensions, Dormammu could use the conflict to solidify his position. Mephisto, the ruler of another hell, may be drawn in, not out of loyalty, but for the opportunity to profit from the chaos. Trigon has no shortage of servants. He can summon his demons, entities that have knelt at his feet for millennia. If the war drags on, it could become a multiversal war, where even the highest beings are forced to choose sides. Trigon roars, his 4 crimson eyes emitting a dark aura that swallows the space around him. He extends his giant claws, drawing energy from the ruby of Cyttorak, but immediately a roar echoes through the sky. Juggernaut rushes in like a storm, delivering a devastating punch that sends Trigon reeling. From the darkness of the Crimson Cosmos, dark entities rise up. Gormu, Despair, Zemnu, all attacking in unison, using the power of chaos to stop the demon from the multiverse. The space shakes as the ruby of Cyttorak itself glows, releasing ancient magics to protect the realm. Raven senses the terrifying power that permeates the Crimson Cosmos. A part of her soul quivers in Trigon's presence. He does not need to capture her directly, he only needs to sow doubt, allowing the darkness within her to amplify. Dormammu, the ruler of the Dark Dimension, senses the disturbance in the magic and appears with a flickering hellfire. Mephisto, ever hungry for power, enters the battlefield with a sinister smile. If Lucifer Morningstar decides to intervene, the universe could tremble before his absolute will. Hellfire, chaotic energy, and ancient magic tear the fabric of space apart. Trigon will use his dark power and reality manipulation to break Cyttorak's connection to the Crimson Cosmos. He can create holes in space, pulling Cyttorak out of his realm, where he is no longer omnipotent. Trigon has a major advantage in this battle because he is not bound to a single dimension like Cyttorak. While Cyttorak is only truly omnipotent in the Crimson Cosmos, Trigon can exist and destroy in multiple universes. He can manipulate reality, warp space, and absorb souls, which weakens Cyttorak if he is pulled out of his realm. As the war drags on, Trigon will seek to enter the Crimson Cosmos, not to fight him directly, but to break the connection between Cyttorak and the Ruby. Once Cyttorak loses his main source of power, he will no longer have enough energy to confront Trigon. Furthermore, Trigon can manipulate Juggernaut or other entities to weaken Cyttorak from within. Trigon will absorb Cyttorak's energy, turning him into a part of the vast dark power. Cyttorak can resist, but he will eventually be crushed by an entity capable of destroying the multiverse. Trigon is the winner. I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much.